Hello students, today we are going to start with the second chapter, that is methods and channels of communication. In this chapter we are going to see types of communication, methods of communication, channels of communication in the organization like formal and informal, and we are also going to see the types of formal and informal communication in detail. So let's start. Now students, from our first chapter, we come to know that communication is a soul of management. It is one of the two tasks common to all functions of management. The other is deciding. Means for the successful working of the management, two things are very essential. One is communication and another is deciding. Still, we can say communication plays a particularly important role in the direction part of the management, because without communication the direction cannot be done to the subordinate. So we can say here that the success of every human venture is based on the ability to communicate effectively. And we should also keep in mind then that when we are sending a message, the person who is receiving a message should be able to understand the meaning of the message in the right spirit. Then only we can say our communication is successful. After that, the types of communication. Now student, no organization can function properly or achieve its goal without effective communication. This communication goes on in two types, like internal communication means within the organization, and external communication. Now within the communication, within the organization, what communication takes place, that we are going to see. Mainly here communication plays a important role in the you can say managerial functions of an organization. Like whenever you're starting or you decide to start a particular business, so you need to establish or your decide particular goals for an enterprise. Means what, why you want to establish the particular business, or what are your goals for it, that you have to decide. After that you have to make plans for its achievement. Then you have to decide about the human and other resources which will be required while doing the business, and you have to organize them properly so that business goes on nicely. After all this thing, human resources and other resources are there in your organization, then you have to select or develop or appraise the member of the organization. First you will select qualified members, then you will make them understand how you want them to work, and if they are working properly, then you will praise them for their work, so they get encouraged to work more nicely. And being the head of the organization, you should lead them, direct them, motivate them, create a climate in which people want to contribute their best, and you have to control or observe their performance also. All this thing comes under internal communication. Now after that, external communication. Now externally we can say communication relates to an enterprise to the outside environment. Like it is through the information exchange that the managers become aware of the needs of the customers, the availability of the suppliers, the claims of the stockholders, the regulation of government, and the open system interacting with its environment, and responds to it fruitfully, purposefully, and desirably. Like for example, you can say it cannot be forgotten that the customer, who is the most important entity for all business, exists outside a company. Means if you want your company to work properly, so you have to keep the customer's demand in mind, and accordingly you have to make your product, and you have to deal with the suppliers, stockholders, then you have to see the regulations of the government, what are the rules and all, then you have to interact with the dealers and all. For all this you need to do external communication effectively. It is through the communication system that the needs of the customer are identified, and this knowledge of their needs enables the company to provide products and services profitably. I hope you have understood this internal and external communication, why it is very essential. After that, we are going to see what are the methods of communication. Now, communication means exchange of information. Now, the communication process helps in understanding the ways in which a person can convey his message. Like a person can convey the message in written form, oral form, or non-verbal form also. So, in other words, we can say communication is about the path through which the message passes from one person to another person. So, we can say the methods of communication are of three types. They are also known as forms or scope of communication, and they are written, verbal, and non-verbal communication. First, we are going to see what is written communication. Now, when we exchange our opinions in a written form rather than speaking words, then you can say it is known as what? Written communication. Now, for example, like reports, letters, circulars, etc., all these are what? Written forms of communication. Here we require to choose the words properly or carefully in written communication, and the words should be such as to convey a specific meaning. It should not be a complicated word so that the receiver is confused. We should choose our words very properly. Then, as far as possible, messages should be in short sentences so that the receiver has no difficulty in finding the true meaning of the message. That also you have to keep in mind. Now, the example, as I told you, examples of written form of communications are what? Letters, memos, notices, circulars, reports, telegrams, minutes of the meeting. All these are known as what? Written communication. First, now this written communication has certain merits and demerits. So first we are going to see what are the merits of communication. In merits of communication, first is it is accurate and precise. First benefit of written communication is that it is very accurate and very precise. The written communication is usually formulated with great care. Means we think and then write. It is not that we just go on writing. So the very prospect of writing makes a person very conscious that what to write. He gives a serious thought to his ideas and then tries to organize them. So we can say written communication is open to verification and its authenticity, and it can be easily challenged. After that, the next one is it can be referred to repeatedly. Now, the receiver of written communication can go over the message at any time again in the future. He can read or reread till he thinks he has properly understood it. Besides, there is less danger of losing any part of the message because everything is written, and on the contrary, you can say an oral message is just given at once. Means you just say at once. Even if the oral communication is not properly understood, the receiver does not request for its repetition because he is afraid that it might adversely reflect upon his own competence, that he doesn't understand it easily, or he is not very intelligent, like that people will think. So he will not ask you to repeat it, to pardon and all. So the written form of communication is very, you can say, helpful in that case, because you can go read it again and again. The other thing is it is a permanent record. Means it becomes a permanent record for the organization. If you get any letter, it becomes a permanent record for them, and you can use it for future reference also. Like old orders, decision can serve as a you can say precedence for the fresh decision. They can be an example, they can be very helpful if we want to know about our clients and all whom we have good relation whom we had good relation in the past, so we can go through the letters and all, so that will help us to know about it. And you can say the previous year's reports can all be very beneficial for formulating the new policies or fixing current targets and all. After that, you can say it is a legal document. Like a written communication is acceptable in the form of legal document. That is why some executives think that even if some message have been transmitted orally, they ask you to give it in a written form, so it becomes a legal document. After that, it facilitates the process of assigning responsibility. Like if communication are preserved in writing form, it is much easier to assign responsibility. In case a mistake is committed as a result of oral communication, it is very difficult to ascertain whether the mistake has been committed at the communicator's level or the receivers. Like for example, if a manager is wants to give you some task to do, if he gives you in a written form, you sign it below that, it becomes your responsibility, or it is understood that you have understood whatever he has told you, and that's why you have given signature. So if you fail in doing your task, the manager cannot be held responsible, because you, after understanding, you only have signed there. So that's why you can say it facilitates the process of assigning responsibilities. After that, the other thing is it has a wide access. Like communication media having become very fast, written communication enjoys a wide access. Like written communication is the best channel of communication for conveying information to person living at different places. Although in oral communication too many people get information about meeting or conferences, but it is not necessary for the receivers of the information to be present at such gathering. Therefore, this medium is very you can say helpful in that period. You can, whatever is decided, you can just give them or send them the letter A, so that they come to know what has been decided in the meeting. After that, no need for personal contact here. Like oral communication, it is not necessary for both the parties to be available at that time of communication. It is because under this form of communication, authorities send the written message to the concerned person, which can be read when the receiver gets spare time. After that, completeness. You can say this written communication is, you can say, very complete, because written messages are prepared with perfect knowledge of the things concerning the matter. That is why they are said to be complete. Afterwards, the last one is economical. Now, if the receiver of the message is stationed at a far away place, then this method is economical in the sense that postal charges are quite nominal for sending the message to the receiver by the post. The person doesn't have to spend lot of money and come to the place where the meeting is being conducted. You can just post a letter to the person. So these are all what merits of communication, written form of communication. Now we are going to see what are the demerits. Now you can say that written communication is very time consuming. Like one of the major limitation of written communication is that it takes lot of time. A letter may take 2 or even 3 or you can say even 4 days to reach its destination. Whereas in oral communication through mechanical devices like telephone, not only is the message sent instantly, but even the response is received immediately. You don't have to wait for the person to respond to you. Means you, when you send the message, then that letter will reach to that person in 3 or 4 days. Then he will understand it. Then he will decide whether to reply to you or no. Then once he decide, he writes a letter, then he will send to you. So it takes 10 to 15 days. But instead of that, if you just call that person and speak to him, So you will get the response immediately. So that's why we can say it is one of the demerits of written communication, that it takes lot of time, it is time consuming. The other thing you can say, it is costly. Now, writing letter is a costly process. It is not because of the cost of material, but letter writing is costly due to the number of people involved in writing a letter in an organization, that is from a top management to a typist. Like the person, first that person will, what he do, the head will call the secretary to come and write the letter when he is orally dictating. Then after that the person will write the letter and bring to him. He will check, he will find, if he finds some mistakes in that, he will correct it and give to the typist. Then the secretary will go to the typist. Then the typist will type the letter, do everything properly, and again bring to the head of the management. He will again verify it whether it is been typed properly or no. If there are some mistake, he will again ask the person to do some correction, and then what will happen, the person will again type it properly. So in this thing, so many people are involved, 4 to 5 people are involved. So that's why you can say it is very costly. After that, quick clarification is not possible. Like in case the receiver of a written communication has certain doubts or question about the message, he cannot ask immediately for the clarification. Whereas in oral messages, it is possible. Now he has to write back and wait for the reply, but he may not be able to afford the time required for this lengthy process. That can also be one of the fact here. After that, no secrecy. Now there is lack of secrecy in this system of communication. Like written communication passes through the hands of so many employees. Like first I told you, the secretary, then the typist, then the typist again brings, send, you can say the typist will send it through the peon and all. So then it will go to the secretary, then it will go to the top management officer. So so many people are involved in it. So you can say there is no secrecy in the message here, or you can also say that it fails in its objective of doing so. After that, you can say the written communication is not suitable during the emergencies. When there is some emergency, this system becomes very inappropriate in that sense, because it takes lot of time to send the message, the person to understand, then the person will reply, then after 3-4 days you will receive. So by that time, if there is any urgency, you cannot wait for the reply here. So all these are what's demerits of